and welcome to the Self-Checkout Show. I am your host, Pastor Will, along with the coach.
Hey.
In the building tonight. Hey, everybody. Let me share this tonight. I don't think it's over there. Let me share this together to your ministry page. Hello. Come on in the room. All right, there we go. Put that there right there. All right. There we go. We ready to roll now. Good evening, Coach. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing good. It's Monday, and it was a Monday, but we made it all through.
It was definitely a Monday.
It was definitely a Monday. But all is well. I am happy to be here. I am happy to be alive. It was a beautiful day outside.
It was.
For me, I like it hot.
Me too.
So this was a beautiful day to me.
Yes.
And from the looks of it, we're gonna have some pretty nice weather this week. So I'm excited about that.
Originally it said it was gonna rain, and that's why
I think we're supposed to get a storm or two overnight tonight.
Okay.
And I think some tomorrow too. But it's all good. It's still spring. It's that season.
Okay.
Let me kill this music here. All right. Now something going on here. Let me see. Let me see here. Okay, there we go. No, we all right. All right. Let me turn this down rather. Okay. All right. So I don't know where Dr. Nancy is because she probably
know either.
I don't either. I don't know where she is. And I'm ready for her to do announcements. And she ain't even here.
You see what I'm saying?
Nonetheless, let me check. Oh, look here.
Look who it is. He's fashionably late.
I said, I'm waiting for her to do the announcements, and she ain't even here.
What's the announcements? I don't even know what the announcements are.
I'm gonna bring it up in a second. Nonetheless, I don't see. I'm gonna have to tag because you all share it too. I don't know. I don't see the number like I used to, and I don't see
Facebook has been doing some really weird stuff here.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on here. So we're gonna do what we got to do here. Oh no, not that. Okay, all right. Come on in the building, as they say. Nevertheless, we're happy to be here tonight. Now, along with myself and the coach, the doctor has made her arrival, and we are really happy about that. So we're glad to be here on another Monday night. It's going to be a fun show. I didn't want to do anything heavy. It's going to be fun because heavy is coming. Trust me, heavy is coming. You know it is. Hey, Mama, love you.
Mama.
Hey.
So, we've been having quite a few things going on with my church, SDMI church, one church, 3 locations. Good Lord have mercy. It's a lot going on. We have weathered the storm. We have weathered the storm, and my personal ministry, we have some things coming up. This month, we have something coming up. You guys will be seeing the flyer for that within the next week. And Dr. Nancy, I'm making progress.
Okay.
I am on the 3rd chapter of my book.
Awesome.
So I am making progress. I am purposely taking out time to get some done. Even if it's only a couple of paragraphs a day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to get the book completed, and we are going to get it edited and published as soon as I'm done. How about that?
Very good.
I like it.
So we got that happening. And this coming Saturday, May I borrow a cup of sugar?
I am so
Ooh.
excited.
Tell us
Yes.
about that, Dr. Nancy.
I am super excited. I think I just, the Lord is so funny. He will have you just stumble off into something, right? And so 2 months ago, I believe it was, I was reading Ferocious Warrior by Cora
Okay.
Jakes Coleman. And as I was reading it, book club came into my spirit, or discussion over the book, and just to share it with other people. And that thing took off like hotcakes.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Yeah.
reached out to some folks. We kind of go back and forth with the Lord whenever He gives us an assignment. It was so funny because I was like, Lord, I don't want to do this whole book by myself. Like, what I'm gonna do? And I just began to reach out to different people, and a few of my sisters, a few of my friends said, "Okay, yeah, we like this. We'll jump on board with you." And I mean, that thing was phenomenal. We spent, Jesus, Crystal, how long? Weeks.
It was
ended up being
about
more
9
than
or
I
10
wanted.
weeks.
Yeah, it ended up being more than I initially anticipated, but we had great conversation. We had great revelation. We laughed. We teared a little bit. We prayed with each other. It was phenomenal. And I thought that was going to be it. Like, I was done. But by the time we got to the end, the ladies were like, okay, so what's our next read? I said, huh? What's our what?
Next
so,
read?
Yeah, they were like, well, what's our next read? Like, we need another book. And I was like, okay. So I said, well, let me go back to God and see where we're going next. And it was so funny, Pastor Will, because we were all, you and I and Pastor John, Pastor Martinez, we were all headed back from California. We had spent the weekend or a couple of days in Los Angeles. And I had brought May I Borrow a Cup of Sugar with me to read while on the plane, going and coming. And as I was reading it, it was like, this is the book. But it was so funny because as we were on our way back home that Sunday, unbeknownst to me, Apostle Linda began to talk about it. And I was like, I have the book with me now. And it just confirmed for me that that was the book that we were supposed to jump into next. And so even as such, when I called her and said, I need copies of the book, how many do you have? Because they were no longer available on Amazon. They went digging. I mean, they went into storage. They went into rooms and found every copy that they had. And when I tell you right now, all 20 of those copies are gone.
Gone.
It didn't take any time. Once I posted it and said that we were doing that book, everybody just began to jump on again, grab their copies of the book. And yes, I am super excited. I am elated.
We start Saturday, this coming Saturday.
This Saturday, 9 a.m. And I'm excited. All the books have been shipped out, so everybody should have their book. My apostle signed everyone's book as it was requested by someone of the readers.
I don't have mine.
You'll have it soon, Missy.
All right.
It didn't make sense to be
now, is this going to be on Zoom or is it going to be on Facebook Live?
It is going to be on Zoom.
Yeah.
It is going to be on Zoom. And again, it's only because those are the people that purchased the book. Those are the people that said they wanted to be a part of the discussion. And so I just kind of want to keep it to us because we're the ones that want to do it.
I like it. I like that. So you guys, let me say, first of all, good evening to BFF Nita, who I believe is still here in Chicago with the family. Hey. Tam Gaucher, always good to see you. Hey, my sister, Pastor Julie Reynolds is joining us tonight.
Hey,
what, Julie, you're not at work? I can't believe it. And good evening to Delia Mason, who I knew would be joining us tonight. I see Kawan Green watching. Hey, friend, how are you?
Hey, little brother.
So glad to have all of you guys with us tonight. So it is this Saturday. I am on in another window looking for the flyer so I can share it. It's this coming Saturday, 9 a.m. And it is on Zoom.
Yep.
It will not be on Facebook Live. So is the Zoom information on the flyer?
The Zoom information will be posted later this week. And so it's not on the flyer, but it will be posted on my
Okay.
page, and I will share it with everyone that has a copy. If anyone already owns a copy of the book and wants to, read again with us and join the conversation, by all means, please reach out to me and let me know. And then if you're watching the live tonight and you still want a copy, I'll share with you that apostles are still scurrying, trying to see if they can find any more copies. So just simply send me your name, and if we can grab any more copies, then I'll be sure to reach out and get you that copy.
Yes.
That's it.
All right, and here it is, the book club with Dr. Nancy Murphy. May I borrow a cup of sugar? This book gives us prophetic insights on kingdom connections. It is written by my co-pastor, Dr. Linda Stennis. Saturday morning at 9 p.m.
Excuse me. Hour.
Yeah.
Hour.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be late because I actually will be on at this time.
Latanya Willie, good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. Lynette Pennington, thank you for being with us tonight. So yes, it starts Saturday morning at 9 a.m. If you do not have a copy, reach out to Dr. Nancy. Reach out to me. We can try our best to get that book in your hand, especially if you're in the Chicago land area. We can try our best to get that book in your hand for this coming Saturday. And let me say, and I think I shared this with Dr. Nancy. Good evening, Patrina. So glad to have you joining us as well tonight. This book, and guys, I am not exaggerating at all. And I'm not just saying this because it's my pastor. I'm actually serious. I have read this book 5 times.
Yeah.
Not kidding.
Yeah, I've read it 4. I'm with you. Yep.
This book is so profound.
Phenomenal.
Julia says she wants a book.
Yep, we got her. I got your name. I see you. So I'll reach out as soon as I'm able to grab another copy.
All right, thank you.
We'll work on
this book is so profound, and I mean, like every time I read it, it's like you get something new, a new revelation. Like your eyes open to something else, and it's funny because it's like, sometimes I think people look for some of the, let me say it this way, some of the deep things for us to get a revelation. And this book is such an easy read, and it's simple. And sometimes what you really looking for, the revelation you need, or whatever you're looking for or desire, sometimes it's not going to be in the deep things.
Nope.
Sometimes it's something as simple as asking, can I borrow a cup of sugar?
That's it.
That's what this book is about.
Yep.
Kingdom connections by doing something as simple as asking to borrow a cup of sugar.
Yep.
Man, this book, I'm telling y'all, this book is really, really good.
Yes, it's amazing.
Let me plug Alpha for a second. Alpha and Omega Innovative Publishing, who are the ones who published, edited this book, and of course, also owned by my pastors, Dr. Kurt and Linda Stennis. Obviously, they're going to produce, or should I say, publish my book one of these years when I finish. I'm going to finish it within the next year, I promise.
We're holding them accountable this time, y'all. We're holding them accountable.
Yes. So if you guys out there, if you are writing or are an author or an aspiring author and need to speak with someone concerning having your work edited and or published, you should really consult Alpha and Omega Innovative Publishing. I will share on my page from that page so you guys can see what we are talking about, where I'm talking about. They're really, really great. And my pastors by themselves have produced, I think individually and collectively, I think they've done 12 books, I think, something like that. And y'all don't go nowhere. We get into our topic in a minute. We're gonna have some fun. We just got a new book from Dr. Linda. A couple of weeks ago, um, called The 3 Keys to Your Next Level. Exposure, exposure, exposure. Yo, look, I read the first chapter, okay? And I had to tell her, I said, you ain't playing no games with this one. She came out the gate swinging in chapter 1. I'm like, okay, all right. I had to put it down because it was a lot to digest. So, yes, people, authors, Alpha and Omega Innovative Publishing, they will get you right if you are an author or an aspiring author. So, oh, Dr. Nancy. Dr. Nancy. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Pastor Julie. Thank you for bearing witness. Um, Dr. Nancy, I'm trying to find it as I'm talking to you guys. While I'm finding this, let me ask y'all a question. My sisters and brothers and cousins that's watching tonight, let me ask you this. What are church clothes? Let's have that discussion tonight. What exactly does this mean? Church clothes. One of y'all can answer because I'm looking for this post Dr. Nancy made.
Go ahead, darling.
Crystal, we're gonna let you do it because I'm already in hot water, so he's looking for my post. So just go right on ahead.
You stay in hot water.
Church clothes they can go from 1 to 100, right? But the most important thing is that what you're wearing doesn't offend others. Okay. And if whatever you're wearing, would you want to be standing in front of God with it on?
Okay. So your attire could possibly offend someone
100%
in church.
Yeah.
Okay. Dress clothes, Nita said. So, okay, Nita, let's say this then. Some people could wear dress clothes to the nightclub. So then are dress clothes nightclub clothes as well as church clothes? How's that work? You could wear dress clothes to court, to an interview, somewhere, anywhere. So we can't, this is me saying, I don't think we can rightly identify, even though I get what you're saying, Nita. We can't rightly identify what church clothes are. Yet, I do agree with what the coach said. If it is on you and it causes offense to someone else, or if what you're wearing is a distraction to somebody else, there's a possibility you probably shouldn't wear it to church.
Correct.
I agree with you completely. I think that, like Crystal said, I think the coach nailed it. I think that you're nailing it. And I think that it should be modest apparel, decent modest and in order apparel. My previous first lady, or my home church first lady, used to say, do a mirror check. If you're standing in the mirror and you see lumps and bumps and, you're shaking and quaking, you probably don't need to have that on, or you need to put, you need to get it in order. That's the nicest way to say it.
That's correct.
Good evening, Sharon. Glad to see you. Good evening. Good evening. Patrina agrees with us. Delia said it depends on what you're wearing, and I think we all agree on that. When I tell you, let me just go ahead also before I say that and say good evening to Pastor Couture. Oh yeah. Hey, how you doing? Lumps and bumps. That's it right there, Tam said. Yeah, because see, I gotta be real careful with this one. I was looking this back to what I was going to say. I was looking for this sermon from Bishop Iona Locke. I remember hearing it, but I could not find it today because I wanted to share a clip of what she was preaching. If you know Bishop Iona Locke, she was a straight up holiness preacher. And I remember in one of her sermons, she was, I remember the part she was talking about the men's attire and how it's changed and how now she said, you standing up on the platform or on the stage or in the pulpit and your pants are so tight we can see your credit card number. That is wild. And it's funny, but it's not funny because it's true. I get what I mean. You know what she's saying. See, we've gone from classic fit to slim fit to skinny jeans, and now it's super skinny. And I'm just talking about the men. It's not appealing. And like Coach Crystal said, if you cause people, if what you're wearing causes people to lose focus at church, if it's too tight or too revealing, you know what I'm saying? Right, too low cut, you got too much cleavage showing. And brothers, the people can see what the Lord gave you. Yeah, I'm putting it nicely. Y'all understand what I'm saying? It shouldn't be in the church. That's my opinion only.
Yeah.
Cherie McGee, glad to have you. She said, I think it depends on who's going to church. I wouldn't check a sinner or a new Christian on their attire, but someone that has to be on stage or that's been a Christian for some time should know better. Absolutely. Now, if they're new converts, you just come. We just let them come.
Well, now, can I just interject right here?
Let me finish. Okay. If they have never known Christ as their Savior, all they have is club clothes. We're not turning you away. That's what I mean. We're not you. Come on, baby. You're gonna be all right. We'll get you something. If it's too revealing, we'll get you a t-shirt or something to put on. You know, over that. We don't want you to not come. If you are brand new, we don't want you to not come. That's the point I'm trying to make. Holiness has been set apart. Therefore, when we enter the church, we should look the part. They say, "Come as you are." Now, let's, Dr. Nancy, hold your thought because I'm coming down your street.
Right, you know you are right. I'm over here. I'm all over the place.
People have said, Delia, come as you are. Let's be clear about this. The Bible never said, "Come as you are."
That's right. And that's one of the cliches, if you will. And I hate cliches, although it's biblical. That's one of the cliches that we have written to give excuse for the way we come into the sanctuary or the way we come into the church. But let me just kind of play, and I know I'm going to be a little edgy, and I'm sorry, I'm old school. Although I'm young, I am yet old school. And I am one that believes whether you are in the world or in the church, if you will, or whether you're saved or unsaved, everywhere we go, and I've said this before time and time again as it relates to other topics that we've had, everywhere we go has a standard. We don't excuse or we don't make excuse for people the way they come to the pool. And if you put on your Sunday's best and you go to the club, they're not, they're gonna be looking at you like you crazy too. So, or they're gonna be wondering why you're in there looking like that. So why is it that we want to make excuses, if you will, or give space as it relates to the church? We know better. We know that when we go before the judge, we should put on you should know that you should put on some decent clothes because you're standing before the judge. When you're going to the pool. Right. When you're going to the pool, you should have on your swimwear. When you're going, to a birthday party or you're going to the club, there's club attire. When you're going to the church, you may not own church clothes per se. But I will tell you that you have a pair of pants, you have a sweater, or you have a blouse, or you have work clothes, because you're not wearing your club clothes to your job. So why is it that we want to give all this extra extended amount of grace when it comes down to the church? I don't understand. I'm I'm sorry, I'm missing that. So I believe that um we have to go back. And I think that a lot of the reason why we've lost our way, or why the church has lost its way, is because we've been so accommodating in the church, good God Almighty, as it relates to the clothes. Yes, designs are changing, clothes are changing, they're ever changing, but there is still a way to go into the building. And if we, the church, don't maintain the standard, then the standard will be lost.
Totally agree with that. Patrina said, "You're not going to wear a jacket to the beach. Be respectful at the church." I agree with that. I just really I look now at videos and stuff, church videos. I don't look at a lot of them because I can't take too much, Coach. I just can't. I I will watch. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. I will watch Archbishop William Hudson. Um, I will watch Pastor Gregory Huggins. Um, Sometimes I watch Pastor Matthew Stevenson. I'm very selective sometimes with that one, but I some of these folks just wear anything,
I think
and
I think just to piggyback off of Nancy, I think we all are old school. But what we
yeah,
also have to take into consideration is that we were raised by old school. New school is
fact,
doing the raising now. We had Medea, we had Big Mama, and they would pull us to the side. You need something on under that dress. Where's your slip? You need to wear some stockings. You don't go to church bare leg. You need to cover up. But Lil Mama doing the raising now.
yeah,
So for Lil
yeah,
Mama,
it's
whatever
true.
is good for Lil Mama, oh, that's good for you. Let's go. Or they in a
Yeah,
hurry. And also they're not teaching holiness and all of these things in that household. So you don't know how to reverence God. You don't know how to be respectful of the church and what it means. So it needs to start there. Not so much. Yes, the church should be responsible, but it's got to start somewhere else before you get to the church.
yeah, for sure. Good evening, Stella. So glad to have you with us tonight. Um, so yeah, I think we just should be aware. One of y'all said earlier, do a mirror check before you leave your house. If good evening, brother Ken. If it don't feel right at home, don't wear it. You got to see. You got to bend, and you got to raise your arms. You got to do all that with your mirror check. Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
yo, come on now, yo. From personal experience as a pastor, Cherie McGee says, I just model what's appropriate. I've watched young ladies go from wearing pajamas and no bra to church to being fully clothed and appropriate. And I said nothing to them. By the conviction of the Holy Ghost, changed. I think that's amazing. That's what one of his jobs to teach us. And one of the things that he teaches us is how to come before him
Mm-hmm.
appropriate. Yep. You got to fall out too. You got to practice your fallout at home in your clothes, because if you fall out and all your goods showing, don't you wear that.
That's a
You don't wear
problem.
that to the church. No, you don't wear that. Because what we ain't gonna do, we not gonna keep covering your tail every week because you want to wear too tight and too short.
That's
Put you
right.
some longer clothes on and some looser clothes. Y'all, some of y'all know better. But
And
those
let's just be
stockings,
honest,
says,
sometimes the same people that we're talking about, or the same things some people really want to know. There are things
Yeah.
that people, if you go to someone in
no, that's
love
true. That's true.
and tell them, you know what I'm saying? Like young ladies now, if you tell them, honey, when you come to church, now that may be okay out there, but babe, when you come to church, please put a bra on. Be
Now
respectful and
we have to be careful with that even now, and it's a
But
shame.
again, it depends on how you approach them.
Yeah.
I don't care what y'all say, because I have approached a lot of young people that I don't even know. I mean, I'm talking. Pastor Marquise will tell you, my husband will tell you, I'll mess with the young folks about reeking of weed. I get even at my front, but it's how you approach them, how you talk to them. I'm not saying, cast them to hell, put them out the church. That's not what I'm saying. There's a way that they're able to accept and receive what you're saying and be okay. That's just it. They want to hear from us too, but a lot of times their thing is how we've said it to them. We've got to be mindful of how we're approaching them.
True.
That's it. That's all.
Look, if you're pulling and tugging before you leave the house, go ahead, pull it on off, and start again. Sam said, but those stockings and tights were too much in the summer. Not everyone is bare-legged because temperature be set on hell in some of these buildings. I ain't a woman, so I don't care about whether or not y'all wear stockings or not. I don't know I don't know. That's a female thing, so I don't know if it's. I don't necessarily know if that's considered inappropriate if you don't wear them. I don't think so. I could be wrong though. Ladies?
That's just how they raised us. That's
okay.
That's what it was. That's how they raised us.
Okay, I got you. Let me show you this. We're gonna move a little bit further. I want to show you. Don't close your eyes. I want to show you this, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at this photo. Yeah. Dr. Nancy said, mothers, if y'all don't start teaching these young ladies to require more, they won't get it. This is unacceptable behavior for any young man dating a young woman. I don't care if he's dating or not, whoever you are, get that doggone bonnet off your head. What's wrong with you? But if she doesn't require a higher standard, she won't get it. I was utterly upset, Dr. Nancy said, seeing this out in public. Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. That picture is a fool. A whole fool. Good evening, Carla. Glad to have you. Carla says she agrees with Pastor Nancy. It's the presentation that's being delivered to them. I've seen bonnets in Walmart. I've seen them walking down the street. I've seen them, unfortunately, at airports.
Absolutely.
Along with some of them, Coach, the bonnet and PJs.
Yeah.
The airport.
Yeah.
I've seen it. And I'm a dude. And I'm like, you wore that outside on purpose?
On purpose.
And no shame. And they allowed some. Oh, God. But this picture. Y'all, I'm gonna put this back on the screen again because I want y'all to take a good look at this. Take a good look at this, y'all. This boy got on a whole bonnet on what appears to be a date.
That's silly.
Crystal, what's happening to our folks? What's happening to this generation? What's going on? Talk to us.
What's happening to them? Nothing was ever really right. It's starting from who's raising you and who's telling you all of this stuff is okay. If nobody ever steps in and says, hey, take that bonnet off your head, you're not in the house. And honestly, when I was a child, when you woke up, you prepared. So you didn't walk around in your scarf. You didn't walk around in your bonnet. You got out the bed, you pulled yourself together, you combed your hair, you went and got your hair done. So why are you wearing the bonnet outside? The bonnet is for the protection while you sleep. But see, just like Dr. Nancy said, if nobody's requiring it of them, then why should I give it? I'm not going above and beyond. And the thing about people like that is that you get so upset when people stereotype you, when they say what you are and try to label you, and then you go straight out and live up to it 100%. And then you want to expect respect. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Dr. Nancy, in that post, the first thing you said was mothers.
Yes.
Which speaks to what Coach just said.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
That's naturally. I want to switch back a minute, and same topic though, but I want to switch back to church mothers for a second because I remember seeing and hearing back in the day. If you was a little too open right up and around here, one of the mothers gonna go in their purse, pull out a safety pin, pin you on up, so you won't be showing all of that in the church, right? And they would talk to the younger ladies about the length of their skirts and about, wearing certain clothes. Now, I agree with you, Dr. Nancy, when you said, if you can go to them and you go to them in love, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. Nowadays, some of these folks got stank attitudes and you can't tell them nothing. And many of them are fully grown and still wearing God knows what to the house of God. And, you kind of, I don't know, you kind of want to be careful because if they are known to have a bad attitude or to want to pop off, see, Dr. Nancy, you can't fool with that type because I know you. You can't fool with that type.
But it's still about how you go to them. Everyone can be directed.
Right.
Everyone can be pushed in a different direction.
Yep.
It's just about how you do it. And what happens is you don't necessarily just walk up to them and start giving instructions.
Right.
You want to first kind of engage and see what's going on.
Right.
And then you can move from there.
And then
so let me ask you this then.
Right.
Let me ask you this. What happens then when I'll just use, since we on here, I'll just use Essence for an example. If Essence keeps coming to church with revealing clothes and got a lot of flesh showing in her clothes, and someone, Crystal, you go to church with her, okay? You go with her.
Yeah.
And someone comes to her in a nice, appropriate, loving manner. And says all the things that y'all said should be said. If she receives it, well and fine. But what then if no matter how nice you come, no matter how loving you come, they won't receive it and give you the whole like, yo, I'm grown. You don't get to tell me what to wear. Mind your business.
She with me.
That's your child.
Because that's a bad example.
That'll never happen.
You're probably right. Yeah.
Like that's not going to happen.
No, ma'am. But we understand where you're going, but
we try to we gonna go where you're going. But okay, so maybe they didn't get it or receive it from that individual. Another individual, if I'm talking to somebody, they may not receive it from me. Nancy may be able to come up and say, okay, I see where there was a little gap in communication. Let me come in and fill the gap. And then she can, okay, now I get it. Okay, she really, because we've seen it. We've seen it happen. A person talks to someone, they don't exactly receive it. Somebody comes in with the same message in a different way, and they got it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a matter, again, like Crystal saying, it's a matter of the, like we said, the approach. Sometimes you may want to take another youth with you. You know, if you're a mom, then take your daughter with you. I wouldn't mind using Kiera or using Essence or any of my godchildren. I'll take them with me. You know what I'm saying? And let the person know, like, listen, honey, I'm a mom too, so I'm not wanting to offend you. I understand this is the style. This is what you want to wear. You know, whatever the case may be. But and then, you know, sometimes you may even have to go home even after that conversation and maybe pray about it, because here's what can also be true. And I've seen this in my childhood with my own mother when she's approached people. Maybe the person really does not have the ability to purchase things that they need in order to be able to come to church. My mother has bought clothes for people time and time again. So you just grab something, you know, you grab them something from the store and bring it to them and be a blessing. One or two outfits and bless them with, you know, some outfits that maybe, now don't go get nothing, you know, that's just way off, but get them something that'll fit their age, maybe their style. And that way, again, that's a door opener. We've got to have segues. But again, we just are looking and we shaking our head and we talking about them, or we, you know, shunning them. No, we got to get back to teaching them how to do it.
But I think
being a resource.
Put ourselves in that situation where you might not be able to say nothing to them, or you need to watch what you're saying to them. You got to come out of that, because the parents, the mothers, and all of those adults that we went to church with, they didn't do that. They was gonna tap you on your shoulder. You could be with your mama. You don't have to be. And was like, they were all a whole unit. So whatever mother said is in agreement. This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
But Carla says this generation is raising themselves. I'm always team old school. Ms. Jordan Sims says it is such a strange thing how things we were once ashamed for people to see has become the norm. Bonnets, low-hanging bridges, and PJs. Help us, Lord. Charlotte said, don't even waste your breath. And for some, unfortunately, I would have to agree with that. I wish, let me explain. Well, let me get these last two comments. Ken said, what about young adults, young adult men and adult men walking around with their pants hanging off their behinds, showing the world their underwear? I don't want to see another man's underwear. I feel it's so disrespectful and just plain G-E-T-T-O, ghetto. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. Patrina says, I think we should operate out of discernment because we all have an audience to attend. This is right here. That's what I'm talking about. Some of them do not accept constructive criticism. They don't, and you can't tell them nothing. And it's horrible.
But Pastor Will, then that means we're saying, you know, technically we don't believe the word of God. The word says that one plants, one waters, and God gives the increase. And so I just believe, again, like Crystal said, if Crystal goes to a young lady and she doesn't hear her, then another one of us gets to go to the young lady. And we have to trust that at some point, along with, like the Holy Ghost, like Cherie was saying earlier, you know, about the Holy Ghost convicting the young lady, after we've done our due diligence, now we have to just trust the Holy Ghost, trust God to then do the work. So I don't think that it's a matter of us not touching them, not going to them, not saying nothing to them. I think that we all, it takes a village. We can't keep saying that and we're not willing to be the village.
I hear that, and obviously you're right, but I want us to also look at reality. Some folks just are not going to receive what you say, especially some adults, some grown folks in their 30s, 40s, still deciding I'm going to wear what I want, wherever I want, including church, and you bet not say nothing to me about it. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. That's some of their attitudes. Now, the reason I brought this up, this whole topic, because a couple of weeks ago, I walked into service and Justin and Charlotte, maybe Shasha, they were already engaged in a conversation. And I walked into it and I was like, oh, this is interesting. I need to talk about this on my show. And Justin, believe it or not, Justin had some very interesting points that he was making. And I'm like, You know what? I see that. I agree with that. And his point was, one of his points he made was to just let people be and to include them, which I don't agree with. I don't disagree with. However, what I am saying is, if you are not a new convert and you're an adult, you should be mindful of what you wear in the presence of God. Because some of this stuff we wear in the church, we ain't gonna wear to court.
Fact.
You ain't gonna wear it to your job, but you'll wear it to church. And some of it is disrespectful. I'm talking male and female. It's disrespectful.
And that's really the problem. That's really the problem for me, is that we won't do it in the courts. We won't do it on our jobs, but we expect it to be okay at the church.
That's what I'm saying.
It's absolutely not okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. And and the church, again, we as a body have to be able to say something, to set a standard or to set a precedence. But now, if the church is dressing like that, then we can't say nothing. So now we got to be mindful of who's going to do the talking.
Yeah. In relation to Ken's comment about the young adults and the men walking around with their pants hanging off their behind, showing the world their underwear. Let me tell you something, and I hope more young men hear me when I say this. I can't wait to upload this one to Spotify. Let me tell you what I saw on TikTok. A man who is a part of the LGBTQ community was straight up honest about this right here, about men wearing their pants off of their tail. I'm going to tell you what he said, a paraphrase. He said, "Who y'all think looking?" He said, "Because ain't no woman looking at you. Ain't no woman looking at your butt because she don't want it." He said, "It's men like me that's looking and admiring." So what are you saying? If you showing your butt, I'm telling you, he said, that it's us that's looking. Ain't nothing sexy about it. It's stupid. Maybe I'm just old school, but I wish a rapper or somebody that these folks admire would pull their pants up and say, "Look at me. Look how I'm doing. Follow me." Because they follow every other trend.
Yeah.
Pull your britches up because you look like a fool with your tail hanging out, thinking you're going to catch a woman with that. She don't want that.
That's the problem. That's the problem, though. They got the young girls. They got the women. And so that's why they keep on doing it. Because, again, it goes back to that post that I posted with the girl with the bonnet on. With the young man with the bonnet on his head out. And then look at the comments. Some people saying, well, it looks like, maybe they just cool. No, they weren't just cool. They were definitely on a date. Well, maybe that was her father. No, it wasn't her father.
That was not her daddy.
Yeah, that wasn't her dad. But we making ways, right? We giving excuses. We giving some extent.
We're giving excuses.
Exactly. It was a nice restaurant. I'm gonna tell you, our bill was close to $200. So that just tell you it was hibachi. Y'all know those restaurants can cost, right? And so
stop. You took that picture?
Yeah.
No way. I didn't know that you took the picture.
Now, wait a minute now, Will.
I thought it was a shared photo or something like that.
No,
I didn't know you took it. That makes it even better.
No, I took the picture. That I have exposed myself right here on the national Facebook
on
my social media outlet platform. Yes, that was me sitting at my table looking over, and I was mortified when they walked in. I almost fell out. Grabbed my phone real quick and snapped that picture
real quick on the cue.
Because again, I could not believe that, she was sitting there with this young man, and then as the evening went on, or as the dinner went on, he gets to laying all on her, kissing. And that bonnet never came off of his head. Never.
Wow.
I got another perspective for you.
Come on with it.
I'm shocked right now. I'm shocked to tears. Anyway, I did not know she was going to have a camera. Okay.
Hey, God, baby.
Hey, Grandma. This is what I have to say.
Fell through the self-checkout show.
As a young adult, this is what I have to say. I feel like a lot of times people are quick to criticize people, but not provide instruction about it or why. And I also feel like it depends on the age group too, because I feel like I have friends who grew up how I grew up, who do the things that I do. But then I also went to school people who didn't have that type of background or upbringing to say, okay, well, this is how you show up somewhere. This is what's appropriate. This is what's not. And especially for young people who don't go off to college or things like that, there's never anything to then fix that issue. And so I feel like there needs to be someone maybe in a, I don't know, close to their age, like telling them, hey, I came from this neighborhood, or I came from this background, and this is how I put myself together after these are the things that I learned, and this is where I am now. Just so that people can see, like, yeah, you can listen to the music and do all the things, but you don't have to behave in that same manner as those people, because they've already made it. They have the money, they have the fame, so they don't have to prove anything to anybody. However, us as just everyday people, we do have to hold ourselves to a certain standard, because just aside from the people that we go to church with or the people that we work with, you have to think about other races that are looking at Black people to say, oh, this is what they do, this is how they act, this is how they look. And if you all ever notice on social media, whenever someone talks about something ghetto or unbecoming, they equate it to Blackness. And so as a people, we have to understand that although it may be, oh, this select few within our race doing these things, it gives a certain outlook on all of us. And so I think if there was a way, or someone who provided a class, something, I think it should be talked about in high schools and elementary schools and middle schools, because
we're talking etiquette classes.
Yes, etiquette, but not just etiquette in the sense of, oh, this is how you show up in places to eat and sit and those types of things, but really talking about what is business attire, what is business professional, what is business formal, what's after 5, all of those different things, because unless you've been in those spaces, you don't know what that is. And so I think it just all goes back to education. I know it's a lot on educators right now just because it's a lot, but I think that if there was some sort of outside entity that could do it, maybe there's some community groups that can do it, maybe some of our NPHC organizations could do it, but people who young people would look up to need to be the people making this information known. Okay, bye.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that with us.
She's so awesome.
That gives us something to think about.
She's the baby.
That gives us something to think about. Y'all, that's Crystal's baby.
My God, baby. She's just awesome. Not all by herself.
Too much.
Yeah, that was really something. Indeed, very well said. Pastor Greg is on. Hey, my friend, my brother, it is needed and it is essential.
Yes.
Crystal, you just gave me an idea. I like that.
Essence gave you the idea. Now you go ahead and let her head it up.
I mean, not Crystal, Essence. I'm sorry.
Yes, my God, baby gave you that.
Essence, you gave me an idea. We're gonna have to look into something, because I think
God, baby. That was awesome.
I think that's true, and that also brings. Hey, Kim, I meant to speak to you earlier. She said because we grew up with home economics and other classes to prepare us for life, Today they don't have this. That's true. Everything has changed from generation to generation. Things change. And something that Essence said that struck me was that some children and teenagers never had someone to teach them. So that made a whole lot of sense to me. So you when you are a child with at an impressionable age, what you learn a lot of times as a child, you
carries over.
Adulthood. So if you have nobody to teach you, well, you wear this to this, or you dress like this if you're going here. You know, they're basically on their own. They just do what they know to do or what they've seen.
Yep.
So that is one view. And I also heard that it could possibly depend upon where you're from.
Yep.
Your demographic. If this neighborhood typically dresses like this, most people are going to go with the flow. So I understand that. I received a text also in relation to the young men that says wearing the pants down comes from the prison system.
Yep.
If a man had tampered with you, he had to wear his pants down so that everyone would know that you've been tampered with and that you belong to somebody.
Yep.
But yet they still want to do it. It's crazy to me. I want to switch. Woo! Let me switch one more gear, y'all. I need to switch one more gear because my sister stays in hot water. Stays. My sister, God help her. Y'all, I didn't fault. Yeah, Pastor Greg, I'll leave that to you. I know you can work that. Y'all, I done fought, I done unfollowed, I done blocked folks for coming for my sister. And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna put this one on the screen in all caps.
Oh Lord.
Vacation clothes. Now, folks, let's talk. And the reason I wanted to do this one is because I believe it was Mike Todd. It was Mike
And
Todd. And his wife. Married. She had on something. Didn't look bad to me. It didn't look too. She wasn't showing nothing, you know. But the people, because people need something to be outraged about for whatever.
That's it.
They were going in on how she would, should I say, what she had on, and it wasn't inappropriate.
No.
But had she been showing a little more skin than normal, she was with her husband. And if her husband say he like it, who cares what we got to say about it? We ain't married to him.
Period.
And this is where I had to fight for my sister. Right up and through here.
right up and through here.
Because if y'all know my sister, when she go on vacation, she go
She's
on
going
vacation.
to enjoy
I'm going
herself.
on vacation. Exactly.
Okay? Listen, we like to be over in the Caribbean.
That's right.
So. Mm-hmm.
Crystal, you hear me right? We like
and
that.
they don't want
like
you don't have to have a whole lot of clothes in the Caribbean. It's hot. I'm with my husband.
Caribbean heat hit different than Vegas heat.
And guess what else? My husband was there when I packed all that stuff. He was standing right there. He was there.
He was right. He was there all the time.
He was there.
And he's with me when I'm wearing it.
Hi.
But listen, right, Carla, I'm on vacation. I'm not in the pulpit.
That's right.
I'm not on the platform, on the microphone. I'm on vacation. Again, there's an attire for everywhere you go. So if I'm in the pool, what y'all wearing in the pool?
So that's what I'm saying. The woman is standing in the ocean.
In the ocean. Y'all want me in a robe?
Want her fully dressed.
Y'all want me in my cowl?
What you supposed to wear?
No. Don't be silly.
I mean, what are you supposed to wear?
Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Carla.
Look, people who get all up in arms because a pastor wears a bathing suit, a swimming suit to a swimming pool.
And these the same people that won't tell these girls to pull these dresses down. So there's a lot of confusion there.
I need y'all to make that make sense.
Make it make sense, right? Make it make sense.
Why do we expect even the pastor to wear jeans and t-shirt to the Caribbean?
Not doing it. I'm sorry.
We ain't doing that.
I'm not doing it.
No.
When I'm at home, I'm going to wear clothes appropriate for home. So when I go on vacation with my husband, I'm wearing vacation clothes with, not the pastor, my man.
I know that's right.
My man.
I hear what you're saying.
Listen, I'm married, and married people need to understand that. You know what I'm saying? And the church, again, that's something that we should definitely support. Yeah, it's okay for people in the world to do it, if you will, and people that are unsaved, if you will. Now we don't even know no more saved world, whatever. But the bottom line is, it's okay for other people to do it. But when someone at the church does it, or from the church does it, or that you feel is from the church, now the whole world has stopped revolving. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You're not gonna see me around home dressed like I'm dressed on vacation. But when I'm on vacation, I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
It's a few people that I know, obviously you are one of them, who, when you are on vacation, some people tend to have a field day with what you wear on vacation. Bro, let me tell you, when I'm on vacation, I'm gonna find me some Hoochie Daddy shorts from somewhere. I ain't wearing no cargo pants. We ain't doing that.
I know that's right.
I'm in Jamaica. I'm in Mexico. I'm in Cayman. I'm somewhere over there. I'm not. Listen, I told y'all that heat hit a little different.
And why are you offended in Chicago? The people in Jamaica are not offended. I'm not a distraction there.
Cause see, and wait, we got some comments, y'all. Kim says she want to look good too. She wore it for her husband, and I can guarantee you, Dr. Nancy wasn't sneaking, putting swimsuits in a suitcase.
No.
Y'all don't know her. I know her.
We know her.
I know. Sam said 2008 December, a minister got in the water on a cruise with
No.
You know what? I'm moving. No. I just can't. Cause why you on a cruise in some sweatpants? What's wrong with the people?
What is wrong with you on this cruise? Unless you're going to Alaska, you should not even have that. I don't even.
You should not. Them shouldn't have even been in a suitcase.
What is Mama talking about? Snuggies and combat boots.
Mama,
not
you know
doing
your
that
daughter
on
ain't
the
doing it.
cruise.
You know your daughter ain't doing it, mother.
Y'all, look, let me tell y'all something. Let's get this straight right here, right now. That's what I'm doing, Carla. When I go, I'm gone.
We
That's
gone.
right.
Yeah, Charlotte. Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to be show. They got to be show. Let me tell y'all this, especially to those of you who may have. I bet you are, Tam, because that tickled me right there. Especially, first of all, whether people are married or not, that's not even what it's about. I think sometimes, especially when it comes to vacation, I think sometimes you just ought to mind your own business.
100%.
Now you know we finna start another.
Oh, I got a couple of more things to say.
100%.
And then I feel like there could be a hint of jealousy there because you or yours can't wear it.
Talk about it.
So that could be there too.
Yeah.
And then I think that some people, yeah, that kind of goes along with what I just said. Some people secretly wish they could. See, and I posted this a couple of years ago, and this is one post that I will never forget. I posted on Facebook. Don't publicly despise what you secretly admire. And then if they are married, let me talk about my sister right now. I use her for an example.
You can.
If Pastor Martise ain't got nothing to say, you ain't got nothing to say. Your words are null and void. Because the husband said, wife, I like that. What we gotta say don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing.
That's right.
Just mind our business. All right, we got comments. I just think that people hold pastors and pastors' wives in a higher regard, and they don't think anything is wrong with the attire. They just don't want to see it. So block them. If it takes blocking, block them. But pastors and pastors' wives are people too. And when they go on vacation, they are not going on vacation as pastors. They're going on vacation as husband and wife. So yes, but Dr. Nancy, the rest of y'all,
and I do agree with Charlotte. So I'm not saying that they don't hold us in a regard, but we also have to remember and consider that even as such, we're still examples to married couples. There are married couples. And let me just also say too, just for the sake of those of you all that want to, come down on me, trust me, I get a lot of inboxes, and Pastor Will knows it. My best friend Crystal knows it. I get a lot of inboxes, but husbands and wives need to know that it's okay to be saved, love the Lord, and be able know the word and be able to go on vacation. Come on, and wear vacation clothes and have a good time with your mate. I've seen another pastor and his wife, and I'm sure it's public, so I can even mention their names. Pastor Apostle Cameron Washington and Overseer Nia Washington. They just went on vacation, and she said the same thing. He said the same thing. I'm sorry, we left our robes at home. They had their swimming attire on, headed to the water. The bottom line is, again, when you're married couples need examples as well.
But that's what Essence just talked about, is that you have to have somebody that you see so that you know what to do in the situation. And if I have a pastor and a first lady in front of me and I never see the love, I never see the affection, I never see the enjoyment, and is that my example? This is what I'm waiting to be married for?
Right. Pastor Couture says it's not about you not wearing what you want on vacation. You should, but there's a certain standard as a woman of God, a pastor, that they're talking. Okay. I feel you should not post all that. Yes, you can look good for your husband, be as naked as you want, but why post it? Simply because
it's tasteful. It's not distasteful. It's tasteful.
And it's a part. saying they're married.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're married. And let me say this again. I don't see anything wrong with wearing a swimsuit at the beach.
Period.
Because what we supposed to wear?
Nothing. There's nothing wrong.
You know, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not being facetious. I'm actually being serious. What are we supposed to wear when we go to the beach? If we're in the ocean, what are we supposed to wear? And as far as if it's tasteful, why not? Because we live in that age now where obviously we have social media everywhere. If it's tasteful, I don't see anything wrong with it. That's me, whether it be a pastor or whatever. As long as it's tasteful and appropriate, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. There is nothing inappropriate about wearing a swimsuit to the beach. That's my opinion.
I agree.
Pastor Martise is here. What's going on here? You don't want to know, brother. You don't want to know. You don't want to know. Now, it's true. One part, Pastor Couture, I do want to agree with. Everything does not need to be posted. That I agree with. But
I don't post a whole lot of stuff.
And we praise God.
we definitely picking and choosing. We pick and choose now.
Marty, hey, Pastor Marty said you're gonna wear your clergy style swimsuit.
When you get it made, okay.
I just want to make one point, one request.
Thank
Don't
you,
bring
Mom.
me to my birthday cruise because we're not doing that.
Not doing it.
We're not doing that. My mama said, son, I don't know. They got me totally confused because I see nothing wrong with her attire. I don't need a mama. I don't either. But you know,
and too, let me just say this as well, because I'm just not, and I'm not even trying to be funny, and I'm not trying to be vain or talk about just myself, but I work out. So I work out to wear the clothes or the items so I'm not just walking around like biscuits busting out of a can either. So now, it's still got to be done the right way. I go to the gym for a reason.
Right.
And
the right way.
Exactly.
The right way.
Exactly.
And oh boy. And something else I saw on Facebook today that, you know what? No. Not gonna say that. See, that's one job of the Holy Spirit.
Okay.
That's one of his jobs.
Yeah.
That's one of his jobs. He'll tell you, shut up. Don't say that. Moving on.
Yeah.
But I will.
But again, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be done. I promise. And I don't want to turn this into a whole marriage session or nothing like that. But
no, because this isn't what it is.
We've had couples come to us, even as it relates to lingerie. We had a couple and at one of our getaways, and the wife honestly didn't know that it was okay to wear lingerie for her husband because it's not something she had seen, nor was taught at church. And so again, a lot of our marriages are struggling and having a hard time in that area because y'all, come on, y'all know it's not just really discussed at the church. It's just not. It really should be.
It's not. Which is why we have you and Pastor Martise as our international marriage ministry leaders, because that stuff needs to be discussed. Because, and I was talking to another person some time ago, mentioned something along the same lines where a marriage was suffering because the husband wanted his wife to sexy up, to, make herself look good in the house and out the house, and she wouldn't for whatever reason. And their marriage suffered because he was like, I want to see the sexy you.
Yeah, he wanted to be desirable.
Right. So, I mean, all this, all these clothes and stuff, bro, take them clothes off sometime. Put on something sexy. If that's what your husband or wife desires, put it on. for your husband or your wife. Listen what I'm saying. Sheridan Davis is here. I didn't mention her name earlier, but Sheridan, my favorite, is also one of those individuals who received a lot of flack and slack about vacation attire. I remember. And I'm just saying, like, yo, what are we supposed to wear on vacation? I ain't wearing no suit. I don't wear a suit to church. Okay? No. You ain't getting me in no suit probably unless it's a wedding and or a funeral. Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you a story real quick and I'm coming back. When I first joined SDMI Church 12 years ago, about 12 years ago, I think it's been 12 years. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I was so used to wearing suits and shirts and ties and dress shoes and nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying nothing wrong with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that because there ain't nothing wrong with it.
Me and Sheridan doing a vacation photo shoot.
Listen, I wish
Sheridan going for the single folks and I've been doing for the married people.
Right there. Convocation ready at the beach.
No.
But anyway, I went Father's Day, the very first Father's Day at SDMI Church when I joined. I was in there. It was about 90 degrees outside. I had my long sleeve button down shirt, my dress pants, my dress shoe. Church, I was hot up in there. I was hot, y'all. Dr. Kurt, he said, the senior pastor of my church, ladies and gentlemen, said to me, what you got on? He said, we don't dress like that around here in the summertime. And I looked around, I said, well, y'all sure don't. I mean, I saw t-shirts, shorts, flip-flops, and everybody was just praising God. Because, y'all, it don't matter. Nobody was inappropriate. Nobody was out of order.
Yeah.
Our musicians in the summertime. Good night, Mama. I love you.
Good night.
Our musicians in the summertime, Matt, Rob, Nick, Derek, whoever we have, they wear shorts and t-shirts. Nobody cares about what people wear.
Yeah.
The point is, we got you. You are here in service to praise and glorify God. I'm sure God don't care nothing about you having shorts on. Ken says, I'm with you on that, Pastor Will. I'm so glad we don't have to wear suits to church. Me either. John Stennis saying, playing devil's advocate, vacation clothes are very appropriate in that setting. You are free to wear whatever you want, but we still live in a world where the church and its leaders are under a microscope, and whether we like it or not, other believers and the world will look at what we do, say, and post immediately and charge it to God, and it'll never change. Everyone should do what makes them feel comfortable. If they have a strong conviction about it, then it's not for them. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Okay. Agreed. You get no argument out of me. I agree with that wholeheartedly, especially the part that says everyone should do what makes them feel comfortable. We cannot get to where we're like, what they gonna say if I post this? If you're not naked and wearing nothing crazy, do you, my brother and my sister?
That's right.
That's how I feel. People can only portray on the outside what they feel on the inside. If a wife can't exude sexiness, then the root of the problem is she doesn't feel as confident. And we do know that my sister does not have that issue. Okay? No. Does not. She don't have that issue. Well, the judge wears a robe in a courtroom. Cops wear a police uniform. If you're working in the field, you wear cotton clothes. And he wears of vacation outfits for vacation. 100. Right there, mic drop. So I just wanted to bring this up because good evening, welcome, 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 good evening. I wanted to bring this up because it appears to be a thing, and as soon as social media sees something that they deem is unacceptable, then everybody's got to talk about it, and we got to burn folks at the stake and all of that. I sometimes think this type of stuff is a trick of the enemy to keep us from focusing on things that really matter. I totally, wholeheartedly agree with that. But I think at the same time, yeah, Tam, you're right. I think that we oftentimes we major in the minor and minor in the majors. And for me, what someone wears, I really don't care unless, let's go all the way back to the beginning of the show, unless it is offensive to those who are looking at you, especially if you are at church. If you are at church, I don't want to see a whole lot of your back and I don't want to see all of that.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, I wear my church. We wear shorts and t-shirts, but our shorts and t-shirts are appropriate. They are length appropriate. I'm not wearing hoochie daddy shorts to church.
Correct.
I'm gonna wear them on this cruise, but I ain't wearing them to church. And I'm gonna take pictures in them, and I'm gonna post them.
You better wear them, brother, because you know what I'm looking for.
Huh? Already bought and paid for.
Hey.
It's already. Because I'm on vacation, y'all. We gotta stop.
Your birthday. You turning 50. Now
I'm turning 50 in 36 days.
That's right.
In 36 days. By the way, I'll be having a special self-checkout show the day of my birthday. It's on a Tuesday. It's not on a Monday. It's on a Tuesday. So we're gonna postpone that Monday for that Tuesday. But anyway, now see, here we go again. Here we go again. I see something. Hold on. Tam says, if you're looking at me, but you got papers on your mind, crazy. I ain't gonna win. You know what, Tam? I'm not doing this with you tonight. The mothers are not mothering anymore. See, you know what, Pot? We talked about that earlier. See how I just shortened your name, the Pot right there? We talked about that earlier in the show in relation to the church. How back in the day, the mothers would pull your coattail and say, hey, you got too much chest showing, or your skirt too short, or whatever. They would do that back in the day, and nobody dared come against them.
Yeah.
Oh my, how things have changed.
The mothers are getting younger.
There you go.
And the grandmothers are getting younger.
There you go. They all wearing the same clothes.
So yes, indeed, enjoy life. And I am, Carla. Sometimes we're so worried about the appearance, but that Sheridan, go on, just get off my live. Ain't your daddy preaching or something? Get off my live. Sometimes we're so worried about the appearance, but that life is raggedy. Imagine that.
Imagine that. Yeah.
Because you don't want me to post my hoochie daddy shorts, but your house nasty.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you got other things.
It's 8:23. Well, look at that. It's time to go.
You just gonna drop that and get on nobody else.
That was a mic drop right there.
Yeah, put that little finger up. All right.
I mean, come on, y'all. Let's make it make sense.
Yeah.
Stop getting on people about what they wear as if your background is all squeaky clean.
But that's just what my pastor said Sunday. Don't let your amnesia become your embarrassment. Don't forget where you came from.
I saw that post. Yes, I saw that. Don't
forget. God delivered you too.
And I think that with all of us being Christian, y'all keep talking. and heart just as raggedy, mouth filthy, horrible attitude. But I can't post a picture of me in a swimsuit or some shorts.
Smiling.
Huh?
And you happy.
Enjoying
Y'all
life,
understand
living.
that?
Yeah.
Because see, here's the difference. You can see my clothes. I can't see your black heart until you speak. Because what's in you is coming out of you. That's a whole nother subject. But we must know what to wear, when, and where. But who's the next to judge? Nobody should be judging nobody about nothing.
But let me say, let me say this too, Pastor Will, while you're saying that. I'm sorry I cut you off, because even that although that was a great comment, again, I get inbox messages, I'll get text messages. I am not above, if you will, being judged and or corrected in love. If someone has told me that I've offended them, or that don't post it or cover it up or take it down, especially my leaders. If my leaders say that because I submit to them, then guess what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it. So I'm not one of those. But again, It goes back to what we said earlier in the show. It's about my upbringing. It's about how I was reared. It was about what I was taught. And I was taught to give respect and honor to whom respect and or honor is due. So, and even if my husband said, you know what, I don't want you posting this, or I don't like that, or something, I'm gonna change my clothes. If he don't like it, I'm gonna. But he typically But But if he says don't, then, you all understand what I'm saying. I don't want anybody to think that I'm above correction, because I will take the correction and I'll make the adjustment.
Let's bring this home. Let's bring it home. I want everybody to understand something. You are a full-grown adult. You have the liberty to wear whatever you want to wear, because can't nobody tell you different, because you're grown and you live in your own place, do what you pay your own bills. Can't nobody tell you nothing. Sometimes. Because when it comes to Christendom, we have leaders. Dr. Nancy was just alluding to that. If we by chance wear something inappropriate to church and our leaders bring it to our attention, we fix that, and we fix it immediately, and we don't do that again. Because it's respecting the house. And you do not want anyone's eyes to be taken away from what they come there for, because now we got to look at you because all of your flesh is out.
Correct.
Okay. Now, secondly, and we talked about this a little bit ago, people can't take constructive criticism. They're too quick to get offended. For some, that is very true, and it's unfortunate. Because if you know the character of someone, then you know that they don't mean any harm. You know they're coming to you out of love.
Correct.
You know they're coming to you because they want to see better for you. So don't be so quick to get offended if I say, hey, yo, bro, pull your pants up, man. We at church. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not hating on you or nothing like that. It just shouldn't be. You are in. See, this is the problem. We have lost sight of the fact that we're coming to the house of God. It's just church now.
That's right. That's right.
We've lost sight of that. Yeah. How do you want to appear in the presence of a king? Come on now. How do you want? Because God is the ruler. He is the supreme king. We're coming to the house of God. And if you will put on appropriate clothes to go to a court meeting, put on appropriate clothes to come to God's house. Period. I don't care whether nobody like that or not. I'm saying that with my chest. I'm not coming off of that. You ain't going in the court with a halter top on. Don't bring your tail in the church with one on.
That's right.
Respect God's house and respect the leaders of that house. And almost as importantly, respect yourself enough to not come that way.
That part.
If you go to the club, wear what you want to wear. But the house of God is not the club. It's the house of God. And we should dress in a manner that will not offend anyone, that will not bring a bad smell to the nostrils of our God. We don't want to do that. Okay? I love everybody. Y'all know me. I love everybody, and I'm for everybody. Wrong is wrong. Right is right. I don't care who it is. If it's me, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let's talk leaders, and we getting out of here. I asked my brother, Pastor Martise, and I'm making a point about this, something that one of them said earlier. Pastor Martise had to preach yesterday at a church out in Bolingbrook. I saw it. I said, man, start at 10:30. We're going to be in church still. I want to go and support my brother. So I texted my pastor. I said, hey, would it be okay if me, look, I didn't want to get in trouble by myself. So I said, would it be okay if me and Pastor John kind of left a little bit early to go over here because Pastor Martise got to preach and I want to support him? Pastor said, well, let's wait and see. You didn't have to say nothing else. I said, okay. And that was it. Well, you know, that's my brother. And no. My leader said, wait and see. So I said, okay. So I sat my tail in church, and it was good too. After the anointing lifted, Coach Crystal, co-pastor came to me and said, y'all going on support Pastor Martise. I said, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But by then, I was a little
woozy.
We're going to have to wait a few moments. But my point is, my leader told me something, gave me an instruction, gave me a directive. And I honored them. And that's it, Sheridan, honor. I honored what they said. So my point for saying that is this. If I come to SDMI church dressed inappropriately, whatever that may mean, and they pull me and say, you live 10 minutes away, you need to go home and change. I'm going to get in my car, and I'm going to go home and change, and I'm going to come right back. But I already know better because I know my house. I know my house, and I know how to appear in the presence of a king.
Mm-hmm.
When we get it out of our mind, oh, it's just church. That's one of our problems right there. That's one of our problems right there. And I'm not talking about people who don't know any better. I'm talking about people who've been in church and in God for a long time.
Yeah.
How you still doing what you want to do? Is there no conviction anywhere? One of Holy Spirit's jobs is to convict us when and if we are wrong. If there is no conviction ever, I'm concerned about your salvation. You mean God himself can't even tell you you're wrong and you straightened up? Something wrong, coach.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
That was our show. And Anita, if you're still on here, I'm not doing a part 2. We didn't talk enough about this tonight. Now I don't want nobody else getting mad at me or Dr. Nancy or Pastor Sheridan. We didn't have enough of it.
You know, it's going to come. So we just, you know, we were made for it. It's all right. We were built for it.
But be warned. The end of July, 1st of August, that week and a half, we're going to be on vacation, y'all.
It's coming again.
It's coming again. Pastor Will is turning 50.
Hey.
In 30 days. We vacationing, okay? So get ready. Get ready. Get ready. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. As my auntie would say.
Amen.
Hey, everybody, I want you all, don't leave yet. Please don't leave. I know y'all mad, but don't leave. I want everybody if you haven't reached out to Dr. Nancy to get your copy, especially if you're in the Chicagoland area, to get your copy of the book, May I Borrow a Cup of Sugar, reach out tonight. We already know that Delia wants a book. We are somehow going to make sure she gets her book this week because the book club, the new book, starts this coming Saturday.
Yes.
At 9 a.m. It will be on Zoom, and we are. Is my book? No, my book's not over there. I put it in my bedroom. We are starting the book by Dr. Linda Stennis called "May I Borrow a Cup of Sugar?" It's prophetic insights on kingdom connections, and I think that all of us are really excited about it. So we would love to have you guys join us as we read that book. So please reach out to me, reach out to Dr. Nancy. If you're in the Chicago area, I believe they may have more books while I'm saying this. Don't know. But if they do, we can make sure somehow to get a copy of this book in your hand before Saturday morning. I would love to have a minimum of 50 people in this Zoom.
Now I know that they don't have that many books because already Apostle was like digging in
and email it to you, okay?
Right. So we're gonna have to try and we'll press in, and he says hopefully he can find a few more copies. But yeah, we said it was exclusive, that it was limited edition, limited numbers. So
yeah, I had to buy another one. Because I didn't remember what I did with my last one from the time that I moved here. But nevertheless, we just rambling now, y'all. Join us.
Did you find your other one? Because you free up your copy.
No, I didn't find the old one. So I have the new one here. So I will be ready come Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. And immediately after that, people, if you are without a church home, if you don't have a church, if you don't have a pastor, and you're looking for a new church and you don't want to physically get up and drive to church, we would like to invite you Saturday morning at 10 a.m. to Saturday Next Level Global Church. It's the third church of SDMI, and it is online only. It's online only, so you guys are more than welcome to tune in at 10 o'clock a.m. Saturday morning. If you need pastors, if you need a covering, my apostles, Dr. Curtis and Linda Stennis, would be more than happy to have you join us every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Facebook Live. You need a pastor, and they would love to be your pastors. So we talked about it. Bonnets, pajamas, vacation clothes. To each his own. Let's just respect one another, and more importantly, drink water and mind your business. We love you, everybody. Thank you for having fun with us tonight. We'll be back next Monday night with more fun and more hot topics. For Dr. Nancy, for Coach Crystal, and for Essence, thank you, Essence, for dropping by tonight. We love you guys. Have a good night.